oeddwn ni, rhyw flwydd neu ddwy yn iau. A minnau'n y fachgen y bochoch bach di fai. Ni awn i'r ysgol fel bob bachgen bach da. Dwi'n niwl a glaw boed eian ein boed ham. Yn yr ysgol ni ges lessons history, lessons geography, lessons English o hyd ac o hyd. Ac ambell i lesson yn Welsh chwarae teg am mae Cymro bach oeddwn ni.
Dod law i mi ac awn
i ben y mynydd.
Do you remember
the next bit of that? It's like minor plan scene dod, and then I can't remember the next bit.
Rwy'n heibio debyg I mi, rwy'n heibio debyg I mi.
Do you remember that was our school's fucking like slogan,
motto,
wasn't it? Just for those who know, Dod law I mi, awn I ben y mynydd is give me your hand, we'll reach the top of the mountain.
It's like that R. Kelly song. Also, I was going to say then, something about the Bro Mechanics. Oh, yeah, the crest was designed by... do you remember the crest was like the viaduct over Porthkerry?
There was the viaduct,
Was
it really?
She designed that. This is so instant. It's only appeals.
You might want to beep her name out now when I say like didn't she do some cam work?
She did
for
some
a little
beautiful
bit,
cam work for a little bit, yeah. Actually, I won't go into that. I think we should probably move on, if anything.
Save that for after the pod, my friend.
We'll do Patreon, please do. Hollyoaks After Dark. We'll do our own little
Tales Wales After Dark. All the filth
we should be
bubbling
doing that
out.
as well. Yeah, I know people like Grey Dog would be liking that. So our Patreon
we
listeners,
should be doing not. We shouldn't be doing that. We absolutely should.
We have to be doing Patreon After Dark. I've just said
to you then, market me and Jack have been,
it's now 20 to 10, boozing all evening. I've actually only had 2 pints, and I've had we've been recording since 7. I can't, but this is such a good tip for anyone who's like us who drinks a bit too much. I bought 4 pint cans, so not 440s, but the actual pint cans, so 5, 6, 8 milliliters. I've been splitting them. It's like cutting cocaine. I've been splitting them with 0.0% Heinekens, and I've only had 2 pints the entire night, and I feel a bit buzzed because I've been drinking for 2.5 hours. I genuinely feel a bit drunk, and I've only had 2 cans. How mad is that? Science.
I've just switched to the zeros now, and I realised I lied to you. When you said how much you had to drink, I said 5. It's actually 7. Because I have 2 downstairs.
I was going to say, you sound drunker than 5. 5 is nothing. 7's when you get a bit tipsy.
7's on the cusp, and that's when you're starting to peek over the edge a little bit. But it's all right, I'm on the Heineken Zeros now, guys. It's fine, okay?
But how good is that, though? Cool. 2 pints, and I feel like I've had alcohol. And I've actually had...
That is good.
I've had 5 cans of Heineken 0.0 and 2 actual beers. But the Heinekens are small. They're like Pepsi.
On the one hand, some might say that's really good. On the other hand, some might say you're a little cuck fucking pussy who can't handle his booze.
But look how strong I am on camera, guys.
But I am strong. Is it wrong to be strong?
Is it wrong?
You be the judge.
I don't know. Before we kick this off, we'd love it if you join up to the Patreon, where you get a whole bunch of bonuses. You get to kiss us and snuggle us up until really late at night.
But you decided you get the video content now as well.
Yeah, you do. So
what more do you want?
Both tense. It's supposed to be really.
Oh God, really I'm not far enough back. Hang on.
The Welsh strongman.
You know what? We tried video before, about I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe halfway through last year, and it was when we were very drunk. And we decided not to release it because we're doing that sort of stuff too much.
Yeah. That's why
every second sentence we were going, but look at this.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I just did it then, and I realised my arm looked shit when I did that, so I wanted us to edit that out. So I was already gutted and just did it then. But yeah, we're going to start...
Scratch editing out. Why don't we Photoshop everything bigger?
Yeah, why don't we make it even big? We should put... Yeah, so we're going to put these on the Patreon for the £5 a month tier. You get to watch the normal episodes, but with camera on.
You get to listen to the normal.
No, so the normal
Patrons.
episodes. So no, not that. So if you pay the £5 tier, you get to see the normal episodes, but with camera. So not the listen, you can view. Jack's not saying anything.
Correct. That is correct. Just thinking about that. Yes, it is.
So do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is our new thing. We've only just agreed right now on saying normal patrons. These normal episodes, you can watch them if you go to Patreon and do the £5 tier.
Yeah. Go £5 tier or above, and you will get the usual episodes. But you can see our pretty little faces. I'm not so drunk. Seven bloody pints on Tasha's side.
He's saying slurs. He keeps doing sign language slurs, which is really impressive, but really mean. Don't do the eyes, Jack. Actually, no. Now we got camera. We can.
I can't even do it. Hang on.
Oh, that's. Bullshit, isn't it? Yeah, Jack.
Don't you, mate? Don't you? Just any
I do double horns. You fuck with the camera.
Any deaf people listening to the podcast
get on board now. Well, how would
watching
they?
it? Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Oh, it was a joke. Sorry, it was a simple lampoon.
It was a joke. It was a simple setup.
Yeah. Well,
right.
You're joining us for part 2.
Away.
Hang on. Recess done. What do they say? Like class back in session.
Class is back in session. Yeah.
Can we start? We should start. Insert Grange Hill music here. We're back in, baby. We're in for part 2. This part, we're going to be slightly longer form messages of what... also, thanks so much to everyone who did send in stuff. And if we didn't read out on the last one, it's because people might have said the same thing, and we're trying to... we're going to do them in this half, and...
we appreciate every input on this.
Really appreciate all the messages and all the follow-ups, because when I reposted stuff on the stories, we had some really funny comments just kind of joining in, and I love it when we all chat to each other. I feel like we're interacting.
I just love the social element. That's what I'm here for.
We're putting social back in social media. You know what I mean? I love that.
I love it. We just always go northern.
No, like dead dirty bastards.
Fucking
we either go when we do the UK, we go dead northern, or if we go America, we go humble and clear. We go dead south.
I put the social back in social media. I tell you.
I did try and do New York accent the other day in public, and it went so wrong. I felt sick. I was trying to go, I'm walking here, and it turned out like that. It was like, it's like a little pigeon, man.
The only latest thing I could draw on to like get inspiration for that would go, I didn't go out with John Poik. That's the closest thing
I ain't gonna kiss John Poik.
John Poik.
And that's kind of like more Jewish New Yorker.
Yeah.
Which it's like Long Island, New York. Not Long Island.
I can do a Jew accent, right? Because I have watched Mrs. Doubtfire when Robin Williams purposely does a Jewish person.
Should we test that?
Well already. Oh, it was such a shanda. Never buy Grimish from a mile. It's too Jewy.
Okay, I was really apprehensive, but I'm happy with that, man.
Give you
Here's a couple of shekels for this. Yeah,
there you go. Well, now, anyone who's on the video as well, you side by side that with Mrs. Doubtfire, you tell me I'm not fucking bringing in the big bucks, okay?
Yes, very good. But back to class today, we are going to do...
But we're not here to impersonate Jews. We are here to do something completely different.
Yeah. Now do your Palestinian impression, so it's fair. It's
to make it equal. Do
actually, I
BBC.
Actually, I'm going to jump in early and do my a quick little story from our lives, right? Just because I feel like I've just drawn this analogy now in my head off the cuff as you think about this. But our school, I was just thinking this now, I think our school might have been the Israel of Barry because our school took half of Barry Boys' playing fields. We took the West Bank of Barry Boys'
Well, why wouldn't we stay here?
Why would we stay promised to me by Vale Morgan Council. So yeah,
and then when the Barry Boys started throwing like clumps of mud at our school,
I mean, that's just, the analogy goes so far. Let me explain this to the listener.
This rhetoric of like we took something from you,
especially me and you, who are firm believers in a free Palestine. We're
the IDF in this tonight.
Yeah. Anyway, let's catch everyone else up to speed because I think me and you would know exactly where we're going with this, but everyone else might not. Our school was the very first Welsh language school in Vale of Glamorgan, which is the county or the borough me and Jack grew up in, and it's spread. It's a big borough, so it covers like Dinas Powys, Barry, Penarth. And then really posh places like Cowbridge and parts of Bridgend and Llantwit Major. But other than that, if you wanted to go to a Welsh-speaking school, you'd have to go all the way to Cardiff, which is like an hour and a half on a bus. So it was the first school in Vale of Glamorgan, and it was placed in Barry, which is relatively not the rich. Like, it's a bit of a rough and ready place, beautiful little rough and ready Welsh town, seaside town. But to build it, there's a school there that's called Barry Boys. Sorry, I'm belching like a pig.
Barry Boys,
Barry Boys, which had a reputation for being a pretty hard school. It was quite a rough school. All boys,
little centre, yeah.
Yeah, and because it was all boys, it was like a prison, so it was pretty full on. It was like lots
also,
of
because it was all boys. As soon as we were there, we instantly went, "They're all gay," obviously.
Yeah, bunch of gays. But so it was a much rougher and tougher school than us. And also when we went to school there, they'd only been 2 years above us. So when there was a year 9, 8, and 7, and then Barry Boys had up to year 12. But it is quite Israel Palestine. Our school took their borders and then
took their land,
and then our school got built with like much higher and better equipment. Like we had like electronic whiteboards, all these like the state of the art.
We had lots of. I would be very surprised if we didn't have lots of like Welsh government funding because it was
loads of Welsh government funding,
like grants and stuff like that. Because it was Welsh language school.
Because Welsh language schools, they try their best to like do as best they can. But then that causes I don't think that causes resentment. It's just that I think schools don't like each other.
So we were funded from central government, aka America,
and we were funded by a central government.
And so our military industrial complex, aka our whiteboards, was way more high tech.
The boys from Barry Boys ran through our school and stole some of the projectors. I remember that because one of the teachers got pushed over. So we encroached on their land, and then they used to throw rocks and stones at us, which is like pretty much what the poor Palestinians. That's like
we were
a lot of their weapons.
English one time, and the window
they
was
just throw mud at the window all the time. Yeah,
like clumps of mud.
The teacher's response to getting fucking bricks and stones thrown at the window was just to close the blinds. Just ignore it. But there was something they used to call us Welsh cunts. Go, you Welsh cunts, you Welsh cunts. Even though we're all from Wales, because we spoke Welsh, they hated it. But then, to be fair, our year always got on very well with the boys and Barry Boys. But there was other years where they didn't. And the hardest kid in our school, Kieran, he had to fight one of the hardest kids in Barry Boys, and it was like that scene in Troy where they bring out Brad Pitt at the start to fight their person, and instead of the whole army's fighting,
is there no one else?
And he had to fight two of them, and he was like probably 14-year-old lad fighting like 16-year-olds.
Kieran turning back to our headmaster and goes, "A headmaster who fights his own battles, wouldn't that be a day?"
And to be fair, he beat the shit out of these two kids.
Yeah, he
next
did.
door.
How embarrassing would that be, though, if you were year 11 and a year 9 battered you?
Yeah, but he was a freak.
Mind you,
he was a fucking unit.
Kieran at that age could beat me up
shit
now,
out of us.
so fair play.
I know, yeah. And then his brother was like the Klitschko's or like the Furies, who was the two of the hardest brothers in all the land.
Yeah.
So that was just a bit of background. Our school was a very new school. Very first language school.
Just had to draw the old Israel Palestine into
and fucking we've turned out to be the IDF after everything I've said online.
After everything we've said, yeah. If anyone looked into our history now, that's it, isn't it? We're kaput.
You do look a bit like Bibi Netanyahu. I think
bit
about
Netanyahu-esque.
You're a bit Netanyahu-esque.
I share a lot of his ideals, actually, as well. So,
Right, then. So, that was just a little...
Right.
That's one of my tales. Do you want to read out some of the stuff we've had
I was going
online?
to say, we're not here to discuss Israel-Palestine and the sort of comparables in our life. We are here to discuss some stories that people have sent in.
Specifically
about
Welsh
growing up in
stories.
sort of Welsh school life or whatever. And this one's from a guy named Will Samuel. And he said, so there was a kid in our school called Dan. He went off sick one day. Nobody knew why, but a rumour started that it was because he was in hospital and that it was serious and he might not make it because he got hit by a car. He was off for 2 days. When he came back, he looked absolutely fine. No bruises or anything, but the story had developed, and it's amazing. He was amazing he was even in, because rumour was now that he'd been hit by a Robin Reliant and now has a wooden leg. Now, of course, this wasn't true, but everyone kept asking him if he was all right, and of course, eventually he started to get annoyed by it. He started showing people his leg. It wasn't wood, but often you get replies like, bloody hell, Dan, it looks really real. I wouldn't worry about it.
That's good gear.
This annoyed him even more, which then also helped ingrain it even further into the school's
showing
law.
any weakness is stupid in school. You have to embrace it.
I'm now 34, and I saw his wife the other day in Tesco's. She was also in school with us. We had a polite chat and a quick catch up, and just before I left, I asked her how Dan's leg was. She half smiled and shook her head and said, everyone always asks that. So Dan and his peg leg lives on. That's incredible. The idea, they go, it looks really real, mate. I wouldn't worry about it. As if like this carpenter had painted like a fully, not painted, fucking created a amazing.
Someone suggested we do another episode on Welsh nicknames, because the Welsh because everyone in Wales has the same name. Like there's so many, David Thomas of David Williams. Like there's just so many people have the exact same name that Welsh nicknames are fantastic, and you see stuff online quite a lot about how good Welsh nicknames are. I think we should do a call out for people to send in their best. We'll probably do it in a couple of weeks' time. We'll do some more proper history ones over the next month or so. But next special episode will be about Welsh nicknames. And I think
have you heard this joke? I heard it the other day. I don't know if I'm really hoping you weren't the one who sent me something like this. I think someone told me it. I can't really remember. The joke goes, right. There's a spy from MI6, right. He's being dropped into deep cover in Wales. He's meant to rendezvous with Dyke, a guy named Dyke, in this little provincial village, and tell him the egg is hatched. Right, that's his sort of code or whatever. He drops in, middle of the night. He's looking around. He's trying to find. He goes to the local pub. Sorry, I'm looking for Dyke. Can you tell me where he is? Yeah, no problem. He's up the road on the left. No problem, thank you. Walks up. So, excuse me, you Dyke? Yeah. The egg is hatched. He went, I'm Dyke the farmer. You're looking for Dyke the spy.
Okay. That's dog shit, but I like it.
When I heard it, I was like, that's so shit, but I like it.
Yeah. We had quite good names in our school, but most of them were. I don't think they were I don't know. Maybe they are stereotypically Welsh, but like normally it's like it is things like that, and it's like it's either something they've done or like Jake the pet.
Some of them literally is Dyke the farmer. White is a farmer, of course.
Yeah, but then they've got like Tommy Cows, Cheesy Tommy. You got like Tommy Cows is a big one.
You do get some really good ones.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll save that for another episode because this is already a rambly one. Do you want to do one of your anecdotes from Bro McGannog or school?
I can, yeah. Let me get my notes up. Right. This isn't necessarily this happens to everyone in school, because it definitely doesn't. But I remember one time I was in primary school, and we had. Did you have this in primary school? Because for those who don't know, me and Frank's met in secondary school in comp. In primary school, we had like the main yard, right, was a concrete yard.
Yeah.
And then right out the back, occasionally we'd be let out onto like the big field.
Yeah.
And that was our like
summertime
sort of,
field.
that was in the summertime you'd be let out onto them.
Yeah, when the weather is fine.
So the field, you had like, the field, and then there was like a bank, a really steep bank.
Yeah, we
down
had
the
that
side.
as well, actually.
And it was like, stay away from the bank, basically. Don't play on the bank. You know, usual health and safety shite, right? So what we decided to do was me, our mate Sean, and mates we had back then, Tim and Ellis, and we were like, let's roly-poly.
Dogs, not Sean.
Sort of certified dogs, not Shawnee. Or me, by the way. But anyway, we were like, oh, let's roly-poly down the bank, because it would like fucking, you'd end up going like, da-dum, 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 you know, like really picking up speed, and it would like bog your brain. Good fun. Did that a few times. I went down, I was like, oh yeah, that's fun. Stood up, I was covered on my top in shit. I'd obviously gone through some dog shit or something like that, and it was like absolute streak down me. I didn't really know what to do at that age. I think I was like maybe like 10. So I went to the teacher and I was like, "Oh, Mr. Roberts, my genny cachian, I have poo on me, right?" And I remember his face to this day. He was clearly like holding back laughter, right? And it was a proper nutty number on me as well. It was disgusting, right? And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, go and put it under the tap." And I was like, "I will do that." So
that's not something you can fix the tap.
No, the thing is, it was doing basically nothing. Like, it got the excess like shit residue off, but the rest of it was just like a brown muck then on the rest of my thing. And it was like, I was like, "Oh, Mr. Roberts, I can't really, you know." I was basically saying like, "There's nothing more I can really do. Is there like another top I can have?" And
they were like, "Well, surely."
And he went, he was like, "Unless you have one, no." And I was like, wear that fucking shitty top until I went home, and my mum was like, "You stink." And I was
you would have
rolled in shit.
Stinks. Dog shit is such an unbelievably rotten stain. Also, do you remember do you ever remember this memory of a dog entering the school? Like, how exciting was it?
It was an event.
That was such an exciting moment. Also, I can tell you just got told to be quiet because I just saw your eyes dart around. For the listener, Jack's doing the old bow to your missus.
Yeah, I can't describe myself, can I? Because she's there.
She's right there. Yeah, but Jack's got the kibosh on him.
I've been so many texts going, "Can you keep it down?" I was like, yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
Well, do you want to go downstairs? Because I might go downstairs. We could take the laptops downstairs if you're right there.
Well, I can't do it, mate. This is my area now.
Yeah, you can't be encroached.
Right, go on.
You know,
about dogs anyway. Yeah.
So just saying, when a dog did turn up at school on the field, how nuts everyone went.
I feel like that would be a universal thing. Like
when
a dog finds its way little stray, everyone's like, amazing.
Or when naughty boys from other schools just would turn up on bikes.
Oh my God, look at them. Yeah.
Me and my friend Edward Roberts, we used to play on that bank. We had a very similar bank, but by then they didn't cut the grass, so the grass grew quite long. And we used to play this game. It was like playing The Sims in real life, where we used to flatten the grass and make our own houses, and we'd call the Heebies. And then people kept wanting to play it. We're like, "Oh, this is our game." And then we made a new game called Shoe Olympics, where you have to take your right shoe half off, and you have to. First one was how far can you kick your shoe, and the second was how high could you kick your shoe, and this third one was how far behind you could you kick your shoe. And it caught on it was like the biggest craze our school ever had. Everyone started playing it, and then it was insane. The teachers had to say, "Oh, you have to stop doing it because people are losing their shoes from booting them." But the entire but whenever me and Edward would do something,
success,
and people would like it, Ed, who was like a bit of an outsider, was like, "Oh, no, this is mainstream now. I'm done with this." At the age of 5, he was like, "No, this is too mainstream."
Absolute early door hipster.
And also, one last thing about primary school, in our school we had like these cabins. Like, you had the actual main school, then we had like these porter cabins that were like made of like fucking like
the old temporary porter cabins.
Yeah, like temporary porter
never
cabins.
left.
Yeah, and they had that MDF wood. They were like so shoddily built. So in the winter they were freezing. But so we had like these like cabins for hours. And in year 5, so in Britain, people leave school at year 6 to go to secondary. So year 6 is quite an important year for teachers and pupils.
Yeah.
And because our schools were like kind of overflowing classes, in year 5 and year 6, you often mixed, and like year 3 and year 2, you'd have like mixed classes. So if you were born in the start of the year, you'd be often in the older year group. So when I was in year 5, there was about 10 of us who shared a classroom with like 25 people from year 6, and the teacher gave not a single fuck to us year 5s at all. And obviously all the time was spent on them because like year 6 had exams and stuff. And one time when the teacher was out teaching them stuff, we turned the clock forward 15 minutes, so it meant we got to play break 15 minutes before everyone else.
Excellent.
And it lasted like 2 days before he realised that he was going to the staff room and no one else was turning up, and like the fact we were out there playing before everyone.
Hopefully quiet cup of tea.
Yeah, but I think we played it really well. I think we might have only put it forward by 7 minutes or something, not 15. So it was like
I was going to say 15 minutes is quite good.
Yeah,
you could have, if you chanced it too much, you probably would have clocked on. Yeah.
So anyway, do you want to go back to some of the listeners' messages?
Yes, go on. I'll go on my second story now. Here we go. Right, so we go. This is from Nathaniel J-Bone himself.
One of our dogs.
Right.
He's a real dog.
He says, "Iawn lads, in Bro Myrddin in Carmarthen, we had to go to the Gwasanaeth Assembly in the Neuadd, the hall, each morning. We would all be there, blocked into our year group formations, forced to wear our jumpers in the heat, singing all our Jesus hymns. And without fail, people would just start fainting because of the heat. You're stood there having to sing, pretending as if you didn't just hear this massive thud as a child hit the floor. The teachers would line up around the edge of the room.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
You'd be told off if you stopped singing and looked over, and you'd hear a couple of teachers go over and drag this kid out of the room. Not very Jesus-y to me. Definitely some kind of Soviet cult feel."
It's like that you know, when those fucking mad British soldiers have the big bearskin hat on, they pass out at ceremonies. Yeah, I do remember being so uncomfortable in school. Also, in a Steddfod, so every morning, not a Steddfod, in assembly, every morning. Sorry, like a dog. Every morning we'd go to like Gwasanaeth assembly. The amount of boners I used to get in those, and I always have to
I did not think this is where the story was going to go.
I honestly, when I was when I was in like year 10 or whatever, when I was like 15, 16, every single time I sat down, I'd I've got a boner. And now I'd have to figure out how I'm going to...
Massive turn on for a crowd of kids. Fucking weirdo.
I used to get boners all the time, though. It was boner heavy.
Yeah, I remember in maths having an absolute fucking...
Well, I used to get so stressed.
Proper lob on.
And
it was like Mr. Powell in the fucking...
That's because you get turned on by authority.
It's because I love a strong man. That's simply that.
He was such a scary bloke. He called me a pufter.
Fear boner, yeah.
He was such a scary man. I failed my maths exam, and he came in, and a whole class failed the maths exam. He came in, was screaming at everyone. Yeah. And he smashed a ruler down in front of me, and it smashed. And he went, "Frank Smith, cup of tea. What did you get?" And I said, "I got a U." And he went, "You're a spoon-fed mollycough pufter."
Mollycough pufter.
Which is one of the maddest things to scream at a kid.
Also, how did he predict your future so accurately as well?
Well, I should be outraged, but you've nailed my colours to the mast, good
That's
sir.
When you went absolute swing on the boat.
But then we did start rumours that
he call me more daddy.
Joke's on him. We started rumours that he beat his wife. So take one of mine to the hospital. I'll take one of yours to the morgue.
Yeah. If you step to the king, you better not miss. But didn't we also start a rumour there was a substitute teacher who had the baggiest eyes? And I know I can't comment these days, But we said they were actually black eyes because he used to be a black and blue.
One time he started on one of the kids in one of the boys in our year who's really naughty, and he gave me
one of my stories. Actually,
I'll say that for a little bit. Well, maybe go into it now, but just before you do,
well, you just do it now.
But back to the boners. I used to get them every single time in the and also you're all sat on these chairs and you all have to leave and stand. So they'd say, "I." Blwyddyn in ar ddeg, year 11, you stand up, you go. Year 10, you stand up, you go. So when they said year 10, that's when I had to lean forward and flip my dick.
Was yours twatting every person on the way out?
No, I had to get it ready and put it, whack it up so my belt would
slip in your waistband.
Yeah, I had to hold it in my waistband. And I'm not joking, nearly every single session or whatever.
Every lad knows that trick, mate.
Yeah. So for the ladies listening, this is something you did have to deal with. When you get bonus, you have to flick it up.
Disgusting, boys.
You had to flick it up and then get a belt to tie it down. Then you just had to walk out with someone. Whoa, he's angry.
Whoa, Nelly. Got me a Marlin.
He's about to spit. Hold it back.
You didn't have to go there. Did not have to go there.
Right. Do you want to do your story about...
Right. This is my... Yeah, go on then. I'll do one more, then. Shall I? So this one was from... I
was going to say, no, your story, as in, the black eyes, because I said you were going to that. As in your personal story.
Gotcha.
Ah, gotcha.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so, I gotcha.
Yeah, so to follow
and this
on,
is that terrifying
very
teacher,
smoothly.
Should we say their names?
What? Maybe just their surnames.
Mr.
Okay?
Powell. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and this is all true, so you can't fucking sue us for telling the truth.
This will be part of a wider discussion, right? But basically, I put in one of my notes. I was like, people that should not be teachers. Right? This might just apply to every school ever.
He shouldn't have been a teacher.
A couple of them. Mr. Powell was a guy who was on the edge of
I mean, he was aggressive. He was genuinely aggressive. He smashed a ruler and then called me a puff. It's not really.
He called you a puff. Yeah. I mean, as justified as it might have been, there's just no.
Good point, well made. He did smash a ruler. He also smashed a ruler that was one of those.
I could hear it from set 2, mate. I was like, yeah, fair.
Yeah, I was in the dull class as well. So he wasn't even my teacher. My teacher couldn't control us, so she had to call in the big dogs, and he came in.
Was that Miss again?
Goss,
don't know if we should be saying Miss Goss. Of course, yeah. Right,
she was nice,
an absolute right. Cocaine, fine. But that's only a party drug. Cocaine,
She had She was Jackie Weaver. She had no authority in that classroom.
You have no authority.
I really liked her. She was lovely.
But so there was another one. Then do you remember the two Mr. Evanses? They were ex-rugby kind of guys.
Yeah,
they went
science
to chemistry
teachers,
and physics. And all that. Do you remember when he lost his head? Someone we couldn't figure out why. Fucking burning.
We didn't know. Yeah, and he
didn't lose his energy properly.
Is this when he insulted me again?
Smashed the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? He smashed the really expensive whiteboard, I might add.
Yeah.
Because
no one knew the answer to his question because no one had been listening for about 3 weeks.
Maybe you're not the best teacher in the world. If none
he
of us
called
know
me a
what you're
worm
talking about.
because
he
called
again. Yeah. Totally accurate.
Again, he got me right because me and he was losing it again, and we were all kind of not really taking it seriously. And he smashed it all. And he called Warren a rig. No, he called Warren a worm, and he called me a pudding. He said. Really, that's actually a lot worse than we call a worm. He went, "What a Rickenbach, you sly little worm!" And then he went, "Franks, a pudding." I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" Yeah, you call me a fucking pudding.
I can totally imagine you two fucking dicking about.
Well, then someone laughed because he had bad acne, so they said someone called him golf course face, which was pretty brutal because he had loads of holes in his face.
not the smoothest insult, but still,
I know,
brutal.
Yeah.
And then another one I had was, and I don't know, right? You're gonna have to correct me if I've just
embellished,
cobbled this name together out of my brain. Frau Batty.
Oh, Frau Batty, yeah. German teacher. She was mad.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I just thought like maybe.
And Batty is in mad, not Batty is in Batty Boy. Batty is in
This is what I thought, that maybe I was just co-opting that from like our school days. But she was a nutter German teacher.
Das ist nicht so gut, yeah.
And she was like, I mean, to be fair, when we were like bloody 14, 15, she could have been like 40, and I'd have gone, oh, she's old as fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are the people that just shouldn't have been teachers. But to harken back to Mr. Powell, one a fateful day, so we had this guy in our year, again, might beep him out, who knows.
Yeah, naughty lad.
Naughty lad.
Yeah.
He once told us a story that he found a 6-inch knife, all right, and then he threatened someone with it, and he was like trying to rob him, and they went, I don't believe you'll use the knife. And he was telling us the story, and he went, yeah, and he said he didn't believe me, so I just like stuck it in his arm a little bit to like prove I was serious. And we were like, what the fuck?
And he also beat the shit out of Chuffers for no reason outside of school, and like properly beat the shit out of him, like hospitalized. Yeah, he was a maniac. He sent me a message on Instagram not long ago, and he was like, "We should go for a pint."
On the good side, that was our fucking motive.
Yeah, because he was quite nice to us, wasn't he? But he was fucking mental.
Well, anyway. we must have been the most fucking subservient people to him. Like, proper,
yes, my lord. Yes,
how was your weekend, mate? My liege. Yeah.
Stab anyone this weekend.
That's a really great story. It doesn't make you sound mental at all. Yeah. But yeah, one time we were in the what was that red box called? It was right next to the like the concrete.
Oh yeah. Where we used to like sit. Yeah. We used to like have like it's just called the red box. We called it.
We'd all gather in this little red box, right? And it was like, you're not meant to be there, and all the teachers always have a go at us for what's the word? Fucking congealing. I want to say it's not the word.
No, we just
getting together there.
Yeah.
And one time this Mr. Powell came over and was like, we've told you a million times to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. And I think said something inflammatory. Yeah. And also, for those who don't know, maybe new listeners, when we were in Welsh school, if you got caught speaking English, you'd be in like double trouble sort of thing. So
burst my bubble.
I think he said something. Yeah, he said something inflammatory in English, and Mr. Powell was like, "What did you just say?" I was getting really up in his face. It'd be enough to make me crumble now.
He was screaming.
And Mr. Powell was like this bald guy,
very
so
purple.
red, like so fucking borderline purple. He was bruising his own face with yelling, and the veins in his head, like you see him.
Do you remember he threw his mug at me during this fight? He told me to hold this fucking massive Sports Direct mug.
Probably just
I was some fucking worm for him. He said, "Frank's Dallin," just threw his mug at me, and I felt like I was like his minion watching him because he go on. Yeah. You'll probably go on to what happens next.
Go in, like sort of backing up out of the red box, so
kind of getting away from
the
it.
Whole school seat, and Powell was like still up in his face, like following him.
He was offering for a fight.
He was like, "We'll have a fight now," and I remember saying, "Like, what are you gonna do?" Like, quite rightly, I think, saying, "You're a teacher, you can't actually do anything."
You're a 6 foot,
and he went, "What?" And he went right into his face and went, "What are you gonna do?" As if like, I mean, what are you gonna do in a fight?
Mental. He was a grown man.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was so unhinged. He was properly terrified.
Mr. Powell at that age, he must have been like 40, mid-40s at least.
Yeah. I think he ended up leaving because he had a breakdown.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
He always looked on the cusp of a breakdown, like 24/7.
Yeah, we had a lot of scary teachers in that place because they were all like angry dads from West Wales. They were all like angry farmers. One of the ones who I thought was quite sweet though was we mentioned on the last episode about how like lots of them are like ex-Welsh rugby players or not professional, but people who play rugby who would then have to become teachers. And we had like a really thick sports teacher who wasn't the ones we mentioned earlier from the north or the south, not Chidders or any of them, but he also taught Welsh and science, and he's one of those ones where he's like a kind of a professional filler in when someone else is busy. And we had like in Cymraeg, so in Welsh, you have like like you would in an English school where you learn English language and English lit, you also had that in Welsh where you had like llafara, where you learn some of it you learn the linguistics and some of it you learn the literature side.
Iaith and Clafad, was it?
Iaith and Clafad, yeah. And he was this massive Welsh rugby teacher who was doing Welsh for like some of the lower sets, and I was in like set 3 out of 5, and Jack was in set 3, but then you got clawed up, you went into the major leagues and you left us down below. I was always so surprised at Jack could look at us, the whiteboard, and write whilst looking at the whiteboard, and you never had to look down, because I was always like so bad at copying stuff.
At the time, you were like, I lose so much time looking.
I was so dyslexic. I had to like, I'd look up and see one word, and then I'd look down and write it. Look up and see the next word. Because if I had to memorize it, I'd forget it. If you said like, the crest has fallen, I'd remember the crest. Okay, next has fallen. I could never do it in one go, but Jack could do it.
And you're always behind then, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this like big, thick, massive rugby teacher. Do you remember him? I can't remember his name, but he used to come into Mr. Hughes' class all the time, and he'd.
Was it? I know this is easy as a Welsh name, but I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I think it is Mr. Williams.
He was a big unit of a lad,
massive unit, but he used to always pop in with like the most basic questions to our teacher, and he'd start off and he'd like, "Oh, shall I, Mr. Hughes? Just remind me again. Oh, dwi fi eto. Beth yw Umpson?" And he'd come in and he'd like, and these are like the most basic.
What is a poem? Oh,
yeah, so he'd come in, he'd be like, "Oh, so just remind me again," because he had to then go back to his classroom and tell him what it was. So clearly, someone in the other classroom had said to him, "Sir, what's an umpson?" And then he'd go next to it is, and he'd return, and he'd ask like the most basic questions around questions and grammar. Yeah,
I'm just going to pop to the toilet 2 seconds, right?
And it got to a point then where we ended up like started mocking him, and he'd come in and we'd go, "Oh, sorry, sir, beth yw geiriadur? What's the dictionary again? I forgot. Oh, sorry, sir, what's my name? Where am I? I'm a bit confused." Beth yw Umpson? We used to howl at him. It was so funny. And also, our teacher was a right mad ass.
School, Mr. Hughes.
Yeah. But Mr. Hughes was such a mad ass. And one time when he turned around, someone threw a rubber at his back.
Oh,
and we all
that was such. That was.
This is cruel. This is a scandal. So someone threw a rubber at his back, and he went ballistic. And he was actually quite a good teacher, but like he didn't put up with any of the bullshit that came with our school.
Had a real problem with rubbers being thrown. I tell you that much.
And he said calmly, "I'm giving you one fucking chance. Whoever did it, when I come back in this room, you tell me who did this."
Yeah, he was like, "I'm walking
otherwise,
out, and when I come back in, you tell me who it is,
and you're all fucked."
Yeah.
And he broke the Geneva Convention. He said there will be collective punishment if you don't tell me. And he left the room, and everyone turned on this one girl.
Oh my god!
It was insane.
To this day,
we know it was you.
I've never seen such a unanimous.
It was cruel.
Example of groupthink like that. We all just
someone said it was this one girl.
Just pointed around and went like that and said, "We can be proud of fine." And we went, "You did," and we were like, "Just say you did it."
And
just
everyone agreed.
It was like, imagine 25 kids, 30 kids.
We know it was you.
Just say you did it. We know it was you.
You're going to get us all in trouble.
No one had any evidence, no backing, but we all just fucking piled on. And he came back in. I can't remember. Did she own up to it? I think she did.
Well, she did, but then, so she did end up owning up to it.
She did it out of pressure, bless her.
But then, I think Rob Jeffries afterwards went, "Well, it was actually me who threw it."
It was me, yeah.
And we were like, "Well, it's too late now."
We should have known.
So
he was much more likely culprit would have been him, actually.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what?
Awful.
He wouldn't have taken the blame if we'd all pointed at him. He wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah.
A little lizard king himself.
Right, should we wrap up this episode, or do you have any more to go through? I'm aware that we're coming to time.
So I have one more here from Sheen Graham himself. Sheen Graham, our fave.
Our little grey dog.
Sheen Graham.
We can't have favourites, that's not right. We don't say favourites.
We can't sorry, not favourite. You're all our favourites.
You're all our favourites.
Right, so he said, where in response he said, in primary school, on either Dewi Sant and Eisteddfod, the boys would dress up as coal miners and the girls as Welsh ladies. We would make Welsh cakes, barabreath, and having cockles and lava bread on some occasions.
Welsh cakes are really good. I do think
Welsh
that
cakes are banging. If no one's
really
tried a
good.
Welsh cake,
Yeah.
have a Welsh cake. Barabreath, I'm very partial to barabreath as well.
With loads of mayonnaise, with loads of butter there, that's really nice.
Gotta be done. Daily, we would typically say the Lord's Prayer in Cymraeg in the morning and the afternoon after lunch. Our Dewi Sant task when I was 7 years old was to draw the Dyke for our classroom wall decoration. Dyke is dragon, by the way. To my surprise, I won the competition, which probably foreshadowed my current job as a design engineer with my sketching skills at that age. The Dyke I had drawn was loosely based on someone you typically see drinking at McCann's pub, a biker bar in Newport. The Dyke had a cigarette in its mouth, along with a lip and a nose piercing and a gold chain. It looked hard as nails. That same drawing was brought to life on the classroom display for years to follow. I wonder how many kids that drawing inspired. Plenty of school trips to St Fagans. I thoroughly enjoyed annual visits to St Fagans. One time making an exterior wall for a Celtic hut using mud, straw and wicker.
I think St Fagans is Europe's biggest outdoor museum, which is a very cool
quintessential visit spot for Welsh kids. Also grinding down and cutting flour on a medieval flour stone. Little did I know I would be surrounded by others at an after party 20 years later, cutting similar actions on a cigarette-stained coffee table.
Top lad.
Very good. One year, I recall one of the boys having a Romans versus Celts /Cilliers theme party in the school hall. Brilliant.
That's amazing.
Whilst a few of my mates dressed up in fancy Legion armour and cloaks, I remember my granddad cloaking me in a patterned picnic blanket, boot polish tattoos for the face, and as my weapons I had an actual branch. All the while I was actively hit with wooden swords from the Legion soldiers' classmates. Not quite a Welsh Braveheart. Needs to say it was a cost-effective dress-up solution.
That's class.
Annual sports days, egg and spoon. I actually used sticky tape on my 1 year on my egg and still lost. Absolutely pathetic fraudster.
What a fraudster. Schools,
legend.
Because in most schools you'd get sports day, but we had sports day, but we also had a Eisteddfod day. So you have like a couple of days a year where you are just out there. And yeah, I think sports day for us, we used to go to Jenner Park in Barry, and when you get to like year 10 or 11, your parents don't turn up anymore, because my parents never turned up anyway, but some parents did in like maybe year 7 or 8. But by year 10 or 11, if your parents stood up, it was a bit mad. And this one kid's remember Kevin's mum turned up and used to
Angie.
Yeah, Angie used to support from the sidelines. And this guy was a king dork. And he was on the 100 meters and he ran as fast as he could.
I know exactly what you mean.
He fell like at like the 70-meter mark, and his mum ran on the bench.
I to this day don't think he fell. I reckon he knew he wasn't going
first. He knew he wasn't winning, so he threw himself to the ground.
He threw it to be like, I've hurt myself. Yeah. And it was all the more pathetic when his mum ran on like,
so funny. Kevin! Imagine being the dork in school and your mum running to save you.
I had a pretty woeful experience at that Mabelgan play as well, that sports day. I remember I'd somehow gotten away with like not doing any activities. Yeah. Right, everyone was expected to do the 50.
You all have to do one, and one other thing.
At least one thing plus that.
Yeah.
I managed to get away with it. Right, someone was going to drop out of doing the 200 meters for my my house. Right, I was my hangout, which is like a greenhouse, and Chidders, or Mr. Chidley, as we mentioned already, he beckoned me over, like Chinese whispers came around to me, like, Mr. Chidley needs you, whatever. I came over. He said, we need you to run 200 meters. And I was like now I'd be thinking, do I look like a fucking sprinter? Like I've never been this person. People, we need you to do it, or whatever. And I was like, well, I haven't got my kit. Like I think I had a t-shirt on, but everyone who wasn't like doing
covered in dog shit,
like proper athletics, I'm covered in dog shit again. Was just in their trackies, and I was like, well, I don't have shorts. So you can borrow this guy Kieran's, and it wasn't the Kieran, the hard Kieran.
Yeah, it was like a pretty big
shorts
fat
probably
one.
would have fitted me.
It's a massive
it was
fat
this
guy.
Kid who was like a really slim guy. Borrowed Kieran's, and I was looking at him, I was like, they're not going to fit. He was like, just do what I say. Yeah. I put them on. I could barely fucking run. Like I could do like half a pace with each run, and it was like 3, 2, 1, go, right? And one of the people who I was against was this guy called again. Beat him out if need be.
Dog.
He was an absolute dog. And he had, we used to say he had pneumatic legs, right? Because they wouldn't bend. They were like a cat's leg in like a Smartie tube, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. And he beat me. I came dead last, like by a fucking distance, because I could only do half a fucking pace every time. I was trying my hardest as well.
I remember that
I came back and fucking Chitters was like, "Oh, you didn't do very good." And I was like, "I fucking told you, you fucking did shit short."
I was always one of the last people to do the the cross country. Me and Geth would talk and walk at the back. It was just like, it was so not our vibe, was it?
I think especially when we got a bit older, we'd all sort of do that and go,
yeah, we really, like, me and Geth sneaked off. We went to Ferrari's, the pasty shop in town. So we walked down to Barry Town and just got, and Mrs. Rollins went, where are you going? And Geth went, to get the pastia. And just we walked straight off. Also, on the last one, I forgot to read out that we did ask I said this on Instagram because loads of people said Llangrannog for Welsh school memories. The very first night at Llangrannog, people used to go fucking feral. There was like we said, it was an away trip as kids. You were in year 7 and 8, very young. The first few nights you went fucking feral. No teachers were like anywhere to be seen, and so I asked, what were the teachers up to? And Anya said sleeping, laughing face. Harry, your brother, said getting pissed, and then we'll keep this one anonymous because he has to say anonymous. He said, a list of things teachers got up to. Blowies, because he's a teacher. We were drinking hard. Blowies were delivered. Hanging out at the skylights. Being so hungover, one of the kids said, "You smell like my dad." And he said, "I cut my hand one year after tidying away all the glass bottles which were smashed up, and I had to put them under my bed." And then he said, "Plus there was a murder," which is just a little bit of a joke. Anyway, diolch yn fawr. Thanks so much for all the submissions we had. We had a whole bunch. If we didn't read yours out, sorry. We'll definitely cover them again in future episodes on the Patreon properly because I've made a little list. But yes, thanks so much, everyone. We love you.
Great little epi.
Yeah. Catch you all soon.
Lessons history, lessons geography, lessons English o hyd ac o hyd. Ac ambell I lesson fach, dim ond ambell I lesson fach, yn Welsh chwarae teg, am mai Cymro bach oedd o